Do you or anyone in your family experience head tension on a regular basis? Oof. And did you pass that along to your kids? If the answer is yes to any of the above, then do not move a muscle because it is tool time. And I have tools and I have tricks to share, and by the time you are done watching, you will feel empowered, that you will be able to feel confident using my time-tested top 5 tools to thrive and create your own head tension toolbox that you are going to absolutely love. And it is going to include my 5 C's, my head tension toolbox with the top 5 C's. So welcome to my October Continuing Education Throw It Out Thursday broadcast. As always, we are flexing our label reading gangster muscle together here in this cozy nook of the interweb together. And I want to preface this by saying that this is not medical advice. I am not a medical doctor. However, the protocol that I am going to share tonight with you is documented and approved by our family pediatrician and documented with Olivia's elementary school clinic, and now accessible to Olivia with all the required medical administration approvals on file. So we are going to start by establishing what I mean when I use the umbrella term head tension. So for compliance reasons, I can't say the M word, but we all know it well. It's that dull, throbbing, severe, pulsing sensitivity to light, feeling nausea, fatigue, dizziness, and more. And I started using these tools on my head tension when I got started with doTERRA 7 years ago. And I thought I would give them a try for Olivia about 4 years ago. And I was noticing a trend where she would start to get head tension the same time of the month as me, around the full moon and at many other times that I would. And so I thought, okay, well, these are working for me. Why can't I give these a try for her? And people don't think hormones are a factor for children until menstruation begins. And I want this conversation, I want you to open your mind, and hopefully you feel comfortable and you feel confident in understanding that people also think that girls and women are the only ones that experience hormonal shifts. And they are so very wrong on both accounts. And you can be a steward of this conversation, and you can remind folks that you talk to that this is a gender inclusive conversation. And our daughter Olivia turns 10 in 2 weeks. I can't believe it, double digits. And she's in 4th grade. And though she's several years away from starting her menstrual cycle, I have been able to support her delicate hormone shifts as they happen. And I wanted to share this story with you because I think it is extremely timely. It's extremely important to advocate for ourselves and for our family. So 3 weeks ago on Thursday, September 23rd, I got a phone call from the school nurse about 15 minutes before the day was over. And Olivia was experiencing some severe head tension and she needed to be picked up. So apparently now head tension and everything else under the sun is a symptom of the virus. And for compliance reasons, I'm going to say the virus. And so she needed to, they were taking the precautions that they need to. I understand that. So I arrived and I had all my tools with me and I started putting oils on her. And the school nurse even commented how delicious the oil smelled. And she said it smelled so good. And I said, silly me being naive, I said, oh, well, may I just leave these oils with you so that next time this happens that you can put them on her, she can put them on herself. Silly me. What was I thinking? Clearly, I had no idea what I was about to learn. And she said no. Unfortunately, there is a protocol, which of course now I know there is, but there is a protocol of documentation and paperwork needed, which I did not know until now. And so then the nurse said that because we did not already have chronic head tension in Olivia's official medical file on record at the school as a pre-existing condition which I didn't even know we could do that, I was told that Olivia could not return to school without one of the following. 1, a negative test showing no virus. 2, a 10-day quarantine and then a negative test. Or 3, a doctor's note explaining the symptoms. Now, this is because she had a headache, okay? Because she had some head tension that she normally gets a few times a month anyway. No fever, no cough, no other symptoms. You can imagine my surprise. sitting here with my tools, and as we're sitting there chatting, her symptoms are starting to improve and she's starting to feel better. And so you can imagine my surprise, of course. She's never been to the clinic before for anything other than an ice pack for a boo-boo on the playground, things like that. So these were all new waters for me. So we went to the urgent care doctor office and the doctor examined her. And I explained that Olivia gets head tension, hormonal head tension, every time. And it was literally the day, I think it was the day after the full moon or the day of the full moon. So it was ironic because I had a headache that day as well. And I explained that we use these natural tools to support our symptoms, and I brought the tools with me, I had them, and I explained that these tools support her quickly, and she's back on her feet in no time. And it's never happened at school though, so this was new. Long story short, the doctor was happy to provide signed authorization to return to school the following day, and I made an appointment the following Monday, September 27th, for Olivia and I to meet with our family doctor's office. This was just the urgent care office because we needed to get documentation quickly that allowed her to go to school the next day. And so I wanted to go get all the paperwork signed because the school nurse had given me all the paperwork that was required. So this is the only way that we could have authorization by the county for the school clinic to administer essential oils, vitamin supplements, minerals, natural remedies, or for Olivia to access them. Now, this is an example of the authorization for medical administration form. And in the bottom part highlighted, and I'll put this in my stories after the broadcast, it clearly states any herbal or natural alternative medications, botanicals, oils, dietary or nutritional supplements, homeopathic medicine, vitamins, and minerals. We can't give our kids vitamins. I understand. I get it. Hey, I'm a rule follower when it makes sense. So I'm happy to play by the rules. I will learn and I will follow your rules, right? So this was the extent of the information provided. And then on the back, information for the doctor to sign. And one form was required for every single protocol. Totally fine. Okay. So after examining Olivia and discussing the situation, the doctor added the necessary verbiage to her official medical record so that I could submit that with the other documentation to the school as well. He entered it in that she experiences regular head tension, and the doctor was happy to sign everything else for me too. He even said that he's heard great things about essential oils. So this is progress. Like, the tools are working, we're getting them in other people's homes, and this is an amazing feat of progress. It really is. And so he signed the sheets for every individual protocol that I had filled out. Now, her school nurse would have Olivia's head tension toolbox at the ready if it happened again at school. That was the purpose. That was the purpose of this exercise, to make sure that she was equipped with the ability to access her oils. Okay. So again, this is what the form looks like, and this is the back part, and you just have to have the doctor's office stamp it and put all the information here. And there's a section for the prescription description by the healthcare provider to complete. There's a section for over-the-counter medication for the parents to complete, and then there's a portion for me to sign, and then the nurse signs it as well. So this is what the medical authorization for medical administration form looks like. So this is the form that's needed, and you can Google or you can keyword search on your school's district main page. Then you'll keyword search for medical administration, and I'll put this information in my in the rewind here in the on-demand, so you'll have access to this information. And if you have any questions, if you're watching the replay later, let me know, no problem. But you can also ask the school nurse or the school front office personnel for several copies of the form. So I went to the school clinic the next day to deliver everything with the nurse, and that was Tuesday, September 28th. And I left my meeting with the school clinic to go back to the doctor's office because the school requires the specific brand name and detailed dosage information on the doctor's section of the form. So even though I filled out all the paperwork properly in the parent section because I'm the parent, the doctor just signed and scribbled in general terms like essential oils and, magnesium. He didn't specify in great detail the way that I did. I put all the details, everything, the label, the brand name, the quantity, the exact protocol, how it was to be administered. But because it was in my handwriting and not in the doctor's section, that was not sufficient. How would I know? Well, I know now. So I dropped the forms back off to the doctor to sign again, and I asked if he could literally just copy verbatim what I wrote so there was no confusion. So that is a little challenging, but you know what? We rise to the occasion and we do our due diligence. So the office manager actually even said she was glad to see parents taking that extra step to provide what our kids need, and off to the school clinic I went again. So then, thankfully, the school nurse signed off on every single protocol, and I just blocked out my personal information, but this is the section that's signed by the doctor, this is the section included by me, and then signatures and signatures by the nurse, and I feel so confident about this. And you can see here, doTERRA Clary Calm. This is all here, and it's amazing, incredible. I feel so proud. Every single one of the protocols is on file with the school, a paperwork sheet for every single protocol. That is super important. So just for empowering you and helping make sure that this goes a lot smoother for you than it did for me. I am here to empower you and help you navigate that process. So the school nurse, again, she signed off on everything. She was appreciative of my patience and even acknowledged the fact that she knew that this was a large effort to go through. And she also agreed to let Olivia, she even offered, I didn't have to ask, she offered to let Olivia administer the protocols on her own. I mean, she's in 4th grade. She's turning 10 in 2 weeks. She's totally old enough to put a drop of Copaiba under her tongue and roll on her oils, which she does every day. But it was nice that she did that and that she was really willing to work with me. And that makes me feel like a boss babe. Just like it does when I use power tools. So the nurse, this was funny, as I was leaving and I was packing everything up, the nurse said, "So does this really work?" She's like, "Does this really work?" And I said, and I'm thinking to myself, while I have like a smile on, I'm like, yes, it does. In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, no, I took annual leave from my day job to drive across town and back multiple times for no reason, because it doesn't work. And I just smiled and said, it does. And they were intrigued, and we had a little conversation about oils on the side. And, you know, Mama Bear's empowerment is always on time. So from now on, Olivia can go anytime she needs to the clinic and access her oils without being sent home for a headache. So she has all the tools she needs in her own head tension toolbox at school, and she is empowered. And this makes me just so thrilled. Now, you may be asking, well, okay, but my child has oils in their backpack, in their lunch bag, and Olivia has On Guard wipes in her lunch bag. She has On Guard hand spray in her bag she uses. She actually uses it to refresh her mask. She has a Clary Calm roller. She has a citrus bloom and rose roller in there for perfume, but she's discreet about it, and we've had that conversation before, and that might be fine. Your kids might be totally fine with that, especially if they're a little older. However, once your child needs to go to the clinic and they are actually in the clinic office, it's documented as an incident, and there are typically very strict protocols at that point in place. So again, I can only speak to what the protocol is for our county, but I just encourage you, if this is something that resonates with you, reach out to me. We can have a conversation separately, or we can set up a Zoom call to talk about any of these things. But it's an authorization for medical administration. It's authorizing the school to administer medications that you and or a doctor are prescribing, or not necessarily prescribing because it's not prescription, but suggesting. And I appreciate that they are willing to work with us, that with the botanicals and oils and nutritional supplements and vitamins, that we can get authorization to do that with our own doctor's approval. I'm grateful for that. So now that we've got that foundation laid for the context of where this all came from, let's unpack each of the 5 protocols that she has at school. Now keep in mind, if you go to #HeadTensionHJL, you will have a whole hidden world of Atlantis available to you 24 hours a day, available here in the gram, that I've done over the years. So I have sinus head tension and cluster head tension and sugar caffeine head tension in there. But this is based on this scenario. I wanted to curate these items in this way for you so that you can understand how the process works for advocating and then navigating that process. And I think it's really powerful. You do need a medical doctor's signature, whether it's just the magnesium or, in one of the cases, coconut water. But because it's anything that is, I guess, out of the ordinary, which is unfortunate that things like Tylenol is completely fine, but that's another conversation for a different day. So the first protocol is Clary Calm, okay? And so I'm going to set up my little tool bench here so that you can see this is Clary Calm. And if you are not familiar with it, it is incredible. It is a gentle blend that brings harmony and the body back to balance and stabilizes the hormones. And it has a ton of oils in it. It has clary sage, lavender, bergamot, geranium, to name a few. It is labeled as a blend for women. And doTERRA, if you're watching, I hope that you have plans to rebrand this and rename it, because I highly encourage your boys and men, your husbands, your dads, your brothers, all the men in your life to use this blend. Now, interesting fact, both boys and girls have estrogen, and when it becomes imbalanced, it can lead to hormonal head tension, because guess what? Boys have hormones too. And another interesting fact, adolescent boys actually experience more hormonal head tension than adolescent girls. So I would love for you to pop in the comments if your husbands, if your brothers, if your sons, if your dads, your uncles, any of your men use Clary Calm. I think that is a badge of honor, and I am so grateful that they have you in their lives to empower them and help them. And unfortunately, the fact that it is labeled, that it says it is a blend for women is unfortunate, and I hope that they rebrand that and they fix it, because it is just not only for that. So if you have a copy of the Essential Life book, you will see that it is actually #1 for imbalanced hormones, which again apply to everyone. So if you have a copy of the Essential Life book and you look up Clary Calm, imbalanced hormones is #1, and it is the #1 oil that is selected, that is recommended for when you want to balance that out. And you will get a free copy of this whenever you get started with me. If you are watching and you do not have oils yet and you want to, you will get that extra special gift from me. So again, this applies. The biggest takeaway for this oil that I want you to have tonight is that this applies to everyone, regardless of what your personals look like. This is a gender neutral, gender inclusive protocol. And I am so glad to see that you all are using this, that they are using this, that the men and the boys and everyone in your life is using this oil. Now, how can we use this for head tension? So topically on the inside of the ankle bones, which is a reflexology point for our kidneys, and our kidneys produce certain hormones for our body, our head, our face, our sinuses, our neck, our pelvic area. For women, our uterus, and the lymphatic system for all. So on the wrists and on the pulse points, on the back of the neck for increasing blood flow and reducing head tension. This is like a secret weapon. People do not think about using Clary Calm for their head tension. And when I started doing that, I thought to myself, okay, this is a game changer, because you would only maybe think, oh, I'll use this during menstruation because it's the blend for women, the monthly blend for women. And I just really hope the rebrand happens soon, because I think it's time. I think it's overdue. So I have a life hack for you, and if you have been following me for a while, you know this is a rerun, but if you haven't, then you're in for a treat, because over the years I've shared with you that this oil is not diluted. This is a roller, but it is not a touch roller. It is a roller with full strength essential oil. And so when you are using this, you are using it straight up, which is fine. There's no reason that it's harming you. It's just you're wasting your pennies. And I'm here to save your pennies, because that's one of my favorite things to do, is save your money and help you find the value of these incredible tools. So what I do is I take an empty bottle or dropper and I pour the entire contents of every new Clary Calm roller that I get. I pour it in here, and then I use the dropper to then make my own roller, because you can make 10 to 25, probably 30 rollers, and that will last you a really long time. And especially if you're using this every day, because I got to the point where I thought, you know what, I'm going to use this every day. And Olivia's going to use this every day, because every day our hormones are under so much stress. And it is really incredible to have these tools at the ready, accessible at all times. So all you need is about 5 to 10 drops of essential oil from your dispenser now, and you pour that into your roller when it's empty. So if your daughter or son or whoever loses their roller, they're not going to lose a full strength roller. They're just going to lose a touch roller. So that is my jam, Clary Calm HJL, here in the Snackable Pantry archive when you need to grab that. Okay. Number 2, Copaiba. So the first of the 5 C's was Clary Calm. The second of the 5 C's is Copaiba. And this is an essential oil that helps with calming and soothing and supporting the nervous system when you take it internally. Head tension causes that dull, throbbing, tense, pulsating the head and the neck area, and this is considered one of the most anti-inflammatory substances on the planet. So can we just get a moment of silence for Copaiba? Thank you, universe, for making Copaiba. We're going to give a little for Copaiba because it is one of my favorite, most used tools in my entire oil cabinet, and I cannot stop raving about Copaiba because, and I don't like to say it like this, but it's like the poor man's frankincense because it does everything that frankincense can do, but for way less. So this is an incredible oil. And again, if you look it up in the Essential Life book, it is #1 for pain and inflammation, and head tension is not far behind. So you've heard me talk about Copaiba a lot recently because, again, it is one of our most used, most versatile oils. How does Olivia use this in this head tension toolbox protocol? A drop under her tongue sublingually, or which is a super simple way, or you can do the Copaiba touch. That's another option that just came around. But sublingually is a way where it bypasses the digestive system, so it goes straight into the circulatory system, straight to support you. Nausea and vomiting is also a side effect when Olivia's head tension gets really, really severe, and we try to prevent that by having her do a drop of Copaiba under her tongue every day. So it tastes like tree bark. Tastes kind of like beef jerky. You'll have to let me know what you think it tastes like, but I promise that you will adapt to the taste and you will see how quickly it works for you, and it will be a non-issue. And if you don't have Copaiba yet, you can also see both the adaptive or the rescuer blends if you want to use them topically. I put a little mini bundle together in my link tree. You can tap the link in my profile and you'll see the items that we're talking about tonight in there. So if you need Copaiba, reach out to me, add it to your next loyalty rewards order, use your points and get it for free. It tastes like relief. And once you get used to this, it's amazing because, okay, you just need to tighten something. Hey, you grab your tools. You need to put in a nail, you grab your hammer. You need to do something else, you just grab what you need. And that is the concept behind this. It's the toolbox concept is it's a fun way for us to visualize the fact that I want these tools at the ready. I want everything that I need so that when this happens, I'm prepared. And this is empowerment. This is confidence. This makes me feel like my daughter can learn the mind-body connection at a very early age, because when she starts to feel it coming on, she has these tools available for her. And as always, Copaiba HJL for more information on Copaiba from the archives. So that is #2. That's the second C. #3 is natural calm, and this is magnesium, and this is the 4th most abundant mineral in the body, and the majority of the population is deficient in magnesium. I've talked about magnesium for years. I have so much information on magnesium. If you Google my name and magnesium, you'll see a lot. You can go to YouTube and look up magnesium and Hilary LeMay. You can go to Mag Series HJL on Instagram and find some of the archives of the recipes that I've shared about magnesium, the reasons why it's so incredible. And if you could be in love with a mineral, then I would be in love with magnesium. It is just my absolute favorite. Now, the canisters are great for home, but the packets are what we left with the nurse. We left a set of packets for the nurse. And this is just so incredible. This tool is like, I want this everywhere. I want it in every nook and cranny of my tool belt. I want it here, I want it there, I want it everywhere. Magnesium is life, and the packets are so great for school. And magnesium citrate is easily absorbed into the body, so this is the brand we drink. We have been drinking this brand since 2015. Again, you can scroll back through the archives, videos, the posts, all the things, tons of mocktail recipes there. Basically, the way we do it at home is with a sparkling water, a drop of any citrus oil, and the magnesium powder. And this is why Epsom salt, which is another form of magnesium called magnesium sulfate, is so popular in baths and like spas and relaxation, because if you have sore muscles from exercise, it can restore your magnesium levels and reduce the pain that you're feeling. So that's incredible. Now, how does Olivia use this in her head tension toolbox? How can you use this in your head tension toolbox? Several ways. At school, to make it easier, we provided a spoon, and she just eats the powder like a plain pixie stick by mouth. And we figured this out on road trips where she would get queasy and then she would have a headache and all of these things, and we didn't maybe necessarily have sparkling water with us. So you know what? We get gritty and we just say, lick it with your finger. And so that's what we did, and that's what moms do. We do the best we can with the tools we have available. And so, you know what? Now, in a pinch, she's totally cool with doing that. And so for school, that's the protocol that I wrote. I literally had to write this out for the doctor. Let me see if I can see it here. I had to write spoon powder by mouth, 1 packet of powder eaten by mouth, spoonful by mouth as needed. Like, I literally had to write it all out for the doctor to sign. So this is incredible. This is going to help prevent and ease the migraines and the head tension, the nausea, the vomiting, the head tension that comes with all of that, to symptoms of magnesium deficiency. Another fun fact. So it's like the Lickamade of yesterday, those pixie sticks. And again, the sparkling water, a drop of any citrus oil, and your magnesium, and that's a magnesium mocktail. And all the flavors go really well with each other, which is one of my favorite parts. But studies showed that supplementing with magnesium can provide relief from the migraines. And so we've seen it help us in all of our family, and it's an honor to pass this information along to you. It is a healthy version of Fun Dip. It is so fun, so delicious, totally choose your own adventure. Any flavors go together beautifully, and your kids are also getting sweaty. Keep in mind, your kids are getting sweaty. They're playing on the jungle gym. They're playing outside. They've got PE class. And during exercise, you need 10 to 20% more magnesium anyway than when you're resting. And this is why sugary sports drinks like Gatorade or Pedialyte are popular. And they quickly restore electrolytes and the magnesium in the body, but they also contain things you don't need. And as a label reading gangster, we gotta kick that stuff to the curb. We don't want that. That can't stay here. We don't want that. So in upper elementary school and in middle school, no one's really micromanaging our kids' water intake like I do at home. And you'll have to let me know in the comments if you are a broken record too at home about reminding your kids to drink water. Olivia, it's time to have a sip of water. Have you had water lately? Take a drink. It's time for a drink. Have you refilled your water lately? Like, this is a broken record. I literally need a shirt that says, please drink your water. I'm going to probably have to make that shirt because it's true. So that is number 4, or that is number 3. Number 4, the fourth C is coconut water. Now, speaking of hydration, what is it? Okay, so this is literally the water inside a coconut. And if you've been following me since we went to St. Lucia over the summer, we got to drink the delicious sweet coconut water out of the coconut right there and then in front of us. It was delicious. So what is this? Again, it's the water inside the coconut. Now, while comparable to Gatorade, which is loaded with added sugar and dyes and flavors, coconut water is low in calories and it has nothing genetically modified. So coconut water is an absolute staple. We have cases of it in our garage. Coconut water for president. I am telling you, if you are not loving coconut water, it is time. Trust Mama Hilsey. I would not lead you astray. It is going to change the game for you. How can you use it? Well, it aids in hydration. So as soon as you start to feel head tension coming on, right after a run, right after a bike ride, right after an intense workout, you can sip it plain. You can infuse it with an oil of choice. My preferred is lime. I think lime just makes it really changes the flavor profile for me. And so even if you don't like coconut water doesn't, in my opinion, taste coconutty. It's just very refreshing. So give it a try. There is evidence-based science to support the benefits of coconut water, restoring your fluids and restoring your electrolytes. And another little tip here to flex that label reading gangster muscle and have the tools that you need at the ready is the fact that you want to make sure that the coconut water you're bringing into your house is clean. So that means it is not from concentrate. You don't want any added sugar in there. Lamaterade HJL from the archives for how I make my DIY Gatorade with coconut water. The main takeaway here is that dehydration is a very common cause of head tension. So if we can use all these tools and put the pieces of the puzzle together and have a toolbox of all of these at the ready for us, we can eliminate those feelings and we can feel absolutely incredible, and that is the goal. And last but not least, the 5th C, chewables. And this might surprise you. I'm going to put these items in here for us. This might surprise you, but the vitamin B helps to protect against headaches. And this is according to the National Headache Foundation. And B2, which is riboflavin, really stood out in the clinical trials where head tension was studied. And the Kids A to Z chewable contains 100% of the daily recommendation for B2 in a full serving, which is 2 chewables. So I did more research when I was preparing for this and when I was preparing for helping Olivia thrive and all of these things and wanting to make sure that I was providing the right level of detail for you. And I observed on the days that she experienced head tension at home, like a weekend day or something like that, where our routine was a little bit different. and she forgot to take her vitamins, her head tension came back on those days. And so I wanted to try to keep this as quick as possible so you can easily refer back to this, whatever, other information that you might want to look up, but I encourage you to do more research on B2 because that is incredible. Because that is an incredible thing to know about, and you don't have to be a kid to enjoy the A to Z chewables. These are for everybody. A lot of my coaching clients, a lot of my customers, many in my oil squad do not prefer to swallow pills. If you have achalasia, if you have a swallowing challenge, or if you just don't like to swallow pills, this is a great option for you. And so the A to Z chewables is an incredible tool that you can use in your head tension toolbox. And if you didn't know that, then now you have this resource, this new world of information available to you that you can research more, you can look it up, you can share this. If you are sharing oils with others, if you are empowering others, if you're passing this information on to others, it is incredible. So this is just scratching the surface, just the top 5. There are probably 20 more. I mean, I could go on and on and on. But to quickly help you remember the 5 C's, Clary Calm, Copaiba, Calm Magnesium, coconut water, and the A to Z chews. And there are, again, many, many amazing tools that you can use like frankincense, Melissa, Deep Blue, the new Deep Blue stick, past tense, magnesium baths, bone broth. There are so many things, and you'll hear me talk about them all in the future, and you've heard me talk about them all in the past, and I've got posts on all of those. So if you go to Melissa HJL or frankincense HJL or Deep Blue HJL, I've tried to make it really easy for you to have all the tools that you need to thrive anytime when you want to look them up. So even something as cool as a frozen pineapple core actually has incredible enzymes that help reduce head tension, and we always keep a stash of those in our freezer, and Olivia likes to gnaw on them like a popsicle. But you always want to listen to your body, and so yes, there's so many different tools. There are so many ways for you to leverage all of these tools, and even more than that, and use your Essential Life book, and again, make it intuitive. Listen to your body and see what your body wants. But when you start getting into this rhythm where you have these tools at the ready in your toolbox, you've got these 5 tools. That is not a huge investment for your health and of your family. And only 3 of these are doTERRA items. You can grab the Calm on Amazon. You can grab the coconut water on Amazon or from your local grocery store. It's just really important that you practice discernment and you flex your label reading gangster muscle, and you do not grab a brand of coconut water that has a lot of sugar or that's from concentrate. And many kids also may not be eating enough protein. So that is something to keep in mind as well. A lot of the kids, they may want to eat carbs or chips or crackers, but lack of protein can really creep in when it comes to headaches. And if you are noticing that your kids are chronically getting headaches, are they buying school lunch? What is the nutritional profile of the lunch that is provided? Are they actually eating all of the lunch at school, or are they chit-chatting with their friends? At least if you pack the lunch, then you know what is being consumed and what is left over. But it's just this is really just scratching the surface, but I wanted this information here for you to know how to navigate the system, to know how to find the forms. Just Google or keyword search medical administration form on your school's website. You can also keep a journal of when your kids start to experience head tension, and you can try to observe any trends. Because that's what happened. Like I was realizing, this is odd. She's getting head tension the same time as I am. And I'm getting head tension before and after my cycle. And even though she's younger than me, and this started several years ago, I thought, okay, well, you know what? This is what I do for my headache. I'm going to do this too. And let's just see. And they're really powerful. These tools are powerful that you can have on your person, as close to you as you need anytime. And this is something that should make you feel really proud that you can give this gift to your children, because I did not have this, and our parents, they can only do the best they can with the information that they had. And when you know better, you can do better. And that's what we're here for. So you can also always reach out to whoever brought you to doTERRA. Whoever got you started with oils, they are your #1 support system. They not only earn income on every order you place, but it is literally their job. It is in the Wellness Advocate Handbook. It is their job to support you and to educate you. And they are your #1 support system. And they, I'm sure, are happy with joy to support you and help you thrive. So you can reach out to them, ask them for a 30-minute wellness check-in where they can help you craft some daily protocols, because as a leader, it is important that I know how all of these tools work. And that way I can provide that education and that leveled up service to my customers. And so Olivia applies her Clary Calm, she takes her vitamins, she drinks her magnesium with dinner every night, even on travel. Beth and I, we traveled to St. Lucia together, and Olivia drinks her magnesium when we're traveling. She has these tools with her at the ready. This is a crucial element of our habit architecture, which is the way that we go through our habits and the rituals of each and every day. And she sips her coconut water. We even asked and made sure there would be coconut water available to us when we were traveling. You can usually get it in the airport, but drops under her tongue with Copaiba, just to try to get ahead of it now, because now is the time where we really want to support her and help her see the value of this habit architecture for herself, taking her vitamins, doing these protocols and having them on her body every single day. So now when head tension creeps in, you can feel confident that you have your toolbox, that you have your tools and everything that you need, whatever these customized things are for you. Maybe that's coconut water, maybe that's the A to Z vitamins, maybe it's the magnesium, the Clary Calm rollers, maybe you want to make 5 or 10 rollers to have extra if your kiddos tend to lose them. Whatever it is, you have the tools available. That is the role, that is the goal, that is the key. And you can dig into your school's medical administration forms and get them signed off in detail by your doctor, on file with the clinic, so that you are ready to rock. And I would love to know what your favorite head tension remedies are, because there are a ton. And I hope you will go dig back into the head tension HJL archives and uncover that hidden world of Atlantis that I prepared for you years ago that is still relevant today. And let me know, do you use those? Are there other protocols that you use that maybe I don't know about? Because maybe you didn't know about Clary Calm for head tension and now you learned something new. And I love being inspired by you. I love learning from you. So please reach out anytime. Send me a message. Let me know you're trying these. If you try these, if you have something else that you love, I would love to hear that. I hope you found this helpful. A few housekeeping items before we wrap today. I have some special promotions this month if you are ready to get started and you want to empower your health and purchase these doTERRA oils or the tools that I mentioned. And I've bundled these items together in a little mini starter kit. So when you purchase that kit, you'll receive a box of Magnesium Calm. And you can choose if you prefer the canister or a box of the packets. Just let me know, just specify. The box has 30 individual servings and this one has quite many more than that, I think 56. But when you get started with that kit, just send me a message and let me know which one you would like, because those are going to be included for you so that you have everything you need. You're going to get 25% off the discount login. So everything that you buy, including the first purchase you make and anything thereafter, will be 25% off. You can tap the link in my Instagram profile or message me for help. You will also get a copy of the Essential Life Book, because this is a major tool that we use every single day. This is a reference book, and I want you to have the empowerment of being able to flip through this and look up every single oil and curate your own protocols that your family needs. I cannot wait to connect with you and help you turn those challenges into solutions, and here to help you navigate and advocate for yourself and for your family. So mark your calendar, because our next continuing education broadcast is Thursday, November 11th. Same time, same place. That is a wrap on broadcast number 225. And it was a great tool time indeed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.